What is up, everybody, on today's Unbiased Heart Take? Sorry for the late video. Been busy with the holidays, things like that. But you already know we got a good episode for you guys today because we're going to react to college football playoffs, how these small schools do not need to be in the college football playoffs, and how college football needs to be bracketed. And then we're also going to talk about Packers and Lions and NFC North football. So stay tuned for more. And also Unbiased Heart Take. Fantasy football playoffs are here, so we're going to be breaking that down as well. So stay tuned for more. What is up, the Unbiased Heart Take? It's Christmas Eve. Hope you guys are having good times with your family, friends, opens of presents. Hope Santa leaves y'all something nice if y'all were on a nice list. I know some of y'all probably on that naughty list. So, again, you already see me here, my Santa Claus hat, celebrating Christmas. So again, Merry Christmas. I'm from the Unbiased Heart Take. I send that out from me and JB. I know he feels the exact same way about that. So Merry Christmas from the Unbiased Heart Take to you and your loved ones and family. Hope y'all get some presents. Leave some cookies out for Santa Claus tonight. Don't get on that naughty list. So, speaking of the naughty list, because the Packers lost to the Bears in a meaningful game. It's ironic, it seems like the only time the Bears can beat the Packers is when our starting quarterback gets injured, but I'm not going to blame injuries on the loss because the Bears are a good football team. And I give Bears fans a lot of hard time. I give the Bears a hard time. It's a fun rivalry. They do the same back to us. And they have been this past week. But the Packers are still in prime position for the playoffs right now, and there's no reason really to panic at this time. I mean, they're playing the Ravens, and the Packers can actually clinch a playoff spot this week. Before they even touch the field tomorrow if the Vikings beat the Lions. They've already beat them once this year, and the Vikings are on a 3-game win streak, if I'm not mistaken there. Maybe more than that, but I believe it's 3. So the Vikings are playing good football right now. And the Lions are struggling. They lost a heartbreaker. A heartbreaker. That was as bad as it's probably the worst is the Hail Mary. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, the Packers still rely on Aaron Rodgers for our playoff hopes because that Steelers win and that referee call was massive in NFC playoff format for the playoffs, especially in that wild card seeding, because that loss means the Packers can either win this weekend or if the Lions lose tomorrow on on Christmas, Thanksgiving, what am I talking about? Good God, I'm losing my mind. But if the Lions lose tomorrow on Christmas, then the Packers are already in the playoffs before they even play. But even if the Lions win and the Packers win, they're still in the playoffs. And that's with 2 weeks to go in the season. So Packers' playoff chance is still above 90%, and the Lions really crushed. But had the Lions won that game against the Steelers, had that call went differently by the referee, and the Steelers would have lost to the Lions, the Packers would have had to wait till week 17 to clinch a playoff. Well, actually, week 18 to clinch a playoff spot, which is the last week, and you don't want to go in that type of pressure with the type of expectations Green Bay's had this season. And I do want to say about Matt LaFleur, the jury's still out on him. I think he's a very good coach. I think he's a coach that can get you to the playoffs. He'll regularly give you winning seasons. We've already clinched that, and we could very well clinch a playoff spot this week. So he's regularly going to give you winning seasons, playoff seasons. But he's a good coach, but he's not a great coach. I don't think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl for the Packers. I really don't think Matt LaFleur is that good of a coach. Maybe he can prove me wrong. I hope he obviously does. I hope I'm wrong on that. But it's more of a frustrating place for Green Bay fans, I think, because he's a good enough coach to get you to the playoffs, but not a good enough job to take you all the way. And that should be the expectation in a place they call Titletown. And that's all I'm saying. I mean, the last time, being a wild card team necessarily isn't the biggest deal in the world. Winning divisions is a bit overrated. I said that last week in last week's episode. But I think ultimately when you're losing the division to the Bears, that kind of hurts a little bit, and that stings. That leaves a bad taste in fans' mouth. Ultimately, the last time the Packers won the Super Bowl, we were the last seed in the wild card also. But if the Packers end up with the 7th seed again, which is where they are right now, that would be the 3rd year in a row of the 7th seed. I'm just saying, I'm tired of being the 7th seed. We got to start winning the division. This is getting ridiculous. Wild card's great. You just got to punch your ticket. I understand all of that. But I want to win the NFC North. The Packers-Bears rivalry is alive again. It is well. And really, it's going to be good for football. And the football gods have determined it's time. The Packers have been beating their butt for years. And the Bears, they were in the Super Bowl in 2006. They were in the NFC Championship game in 2010. And made the playoffs in 2020. So, they've had some decent teams over the years. Don't get me wrong. But I like that the rivalry's back. And we're going to see if the Packers, if they play the Bears again in the playoffs, which they would if the season ended today. I think that's what the NFL deserves, and I have 100% confidence the Packers will get it done in the biggest stage. And that's just reality. But then, we're going to jump to college football because this is my big topic of the day. Because I'm just so sick of seeing these small teams in the college football playoffs. Like ULET in Tulane, who lost to Ole Miss 41-10. And then you let in old James Madison, who let Oregon drop a 51 burger on them. Those two teams were ranked in the 20s in the AP poll all year long. They were ranked in 20 or worse at the end of the season. But you're going to put them in the college football playoffs to represent the little guy. The games were awful. They were both blowouts. They were ass kickings. It wasn't even close. It's not a coincidence that, oh look, the only two games that allowed 40 points or more were a Tulane and James Madison game. Because, I mean, Bama beat Oklahoma in a very good game, and Miami beat Texas A&M in a defensive battle by less than a touchdown. So the other two games were great. But the two small school team games were trash. But you put James Madison and Tulane in, but you're going to leave Notre Dame out. You're going to leave out. I'd put Texas in. I want to see Arch Manning. That would have been much better than Tulane or James Madison. Here's the reality. The college football playoffs should only apply to the SEC and the Big Ten. The other teams should have their own little playoff or whatever, or be subcategorized, other like ACC teams. Any conference that's really not the Pac-12, all of them that aren't in the Big Ten and the SEC should be reclassified to FCS teams, because that's reality now. It's a business now. It's all about donors and big sponsorships, and these bigger schools, SEC and Big Ten, are just way too dominant. In an era now where we pay players and NIL money, those are really the only two conferences that matter, and we just need to admit it. This bowl system's trash. They need to totally get rid of the Pop-Tart Bowl and the Cheez-It Bowl and this crap that no one's watching. You got teams opting out left and right. It's a problem. So they need to just get rid of the bowl system in general, make only the Big Ten and SEC eligible for the college football playoffs, and then subcategory everyone else of the FCS. And when you do that, you can have their own little playoff system, their little cute little bowl system, almost like an NIT tournament, because those conferences don't matter anymore. Tradition doesn't matter in college football anymore. It's a two-conference sport, and that's how it should be. The other conferences should be FCS, and that's just reality. But then, of course, we're going to jump right into the Unbiased Hard Take Fantasy Playoffs. And boy, I was in that group chat because the chase for the trophy is on. Because your playoff teams are number 1 seed Indy Hopeful, number 2 seed Team Man, number 3 seed Dak to December, and number 4 seed Puffy Flavor Camp. And of course, the teams that barely missed out were Team Carson. He had the same record as Puffy Flavor Camp, but lost on tiebreaker. Mahomes for President was 3-13, Bears at 4-12, and Steel here for the win, which is JB at 8-8. So keeping that Steelers tradition alive at 500 or better. Sorry, JB, missing the playoffs barely, but at least 500. Didn't have the losing record, so I can't give you too hard a time, my friend. But so you're looking at currently number 1 seed Indy Hopeful against me, Puffy Flavor Camp, number 4 seed, and number 2 seed Team Man versus number 3 seed Dak to December in this round. Last week of the regular season's next week for the championship, and winner gets that trophy. And you already know, again, we've been posting scores, standing updates all season long for the Unbiased Fantasy Football. That's been on our Facebook page. A link to that will be in the description down below. A lot of great content from me and JB. He's active on there weekly as well. So get on there. Let us know what you guys think of our videos and our Facebook content. And check out the Unbiased Hard Take Fantasy Football. So, again, I was out of the playoff picture on the Unbiased Hard Take Fantasy Football League for a while, and that would have been embarrassing had both of the admins of the fantasy football missed the playoffs, but I snuck in barely by the skin of my chinny chin chin because I drafted Justin Jefferson with my first pick. So you know how that's worked out for me. And I had Cam Scatterboot, and he also got injured, as we all know. So I was able to sneak in the playoffs. Just got to punch that ticket. So you never know. I might make a run here. I was 9-7. So Indy Hopeful, I'm coming for you. But until next time, like, subscribe, hit the bell, like us on Facebook. Sports Fact of the Days on Facebook. It's great coverage there. A lot of funny thumbnails as well. Check that out. Subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys. Again, Merry Christmas from the Unbiased Hard Take. Hope y'all enjoyed the Christmas music as well today. So, until next time, Let's go Heat. Boiler up. And go Pack, go baby. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Unbiased Heart Take. Stay safe out there, y'all. Watch out for Santa.